Ubisoft released a brand new DLC for Ghost Recon Wildlands? Yeah, you heard that right. Wildlands. The game that came out in 2017 just got some new content almost 10 years later. And honestly, when I first saw this, I was honestly thinking, Ubisoft, are you pulling a Witcher 3 Songs of the Past on us right now? Because I genuinely didn't expect to be playing new Wildlands content in 2026. And as someone who absolutely loved Wildlands back in the day, I had to jump back into Bolivia and see what Last Rites was actually all about. And honestly guys, I am glad that I did, because coming back to Wildlands felt great. But Last Rites is way too damn short, let me get that straight up. And just when I thought that was it, Ubisoft dropped something I definitely wasn't expecting at the end of the DLC. So let's actually talk about why this was such a big deal for me. I played Wildlands years ago and I absolutely loved it. The idea of having this massive open world in Bolivia, being able to do tactical stuff, give commands to your teammates, set up sync shots, it was just unique for the time, right? And honestly, I still think it is. I haven't really seen another game that does exactly what Wildlands does. Yeah, we got Ghost Recon Breakpoint afterwards, but personally I just didn't like it as much, and I think I'm not the only one here. Wildlands just had something about it. The world, the freedom, the squad. You could basically decide how you wanted to play the game. And that's why I think Wildlands has actually stood the test of time. People are still talking about it. People are still playing it. And now almost 10 years later, Ubisoft decided to give us some more. There were already rumors going around the last couple of weeks that a new DLC was coming, and eventually those rumors turned out to be true. So obviously, I had to check it out. Last Rites starts you off pretty much like the standard version of the game. You make your character, you get introduced to the situation, and eventually you're sent after the target of the DLC, La Llorona. Excuse my Spanish, but I am really bad at Spanish. And honestly, one of the first things that hit me again was the world. Wildlands still looks really damn good, and being able to play it at 4K and 60 FPS makes coming back to this game even better. But it's not even just the graphics that really pulled me back in. The atmosphere immediately shouted Wildlands to me. It honestly felt like coming home. I'm back in Bolivia, I've got my squad with me, I'm driving around in this massive open world again, and suddenly I am back in that mindset I had years ago when I first played the original game. And that's something I didn't really expect. I didn't realize how much I missed this game until I was actually back in it. And thankfully, the actual Wildlands gameplay is still here. I could go full stealth if I wanted to, give commands to my teammates, line up some sync shots, take everyone out silently, or I could just say fuck it, going guns blazing and go full Rambo with my teammates. And that's why I love Wildlands so much. It's completely up to me, the player. Sometimes I just want to do a mission completely silent. I'll sit there, mark everyone, line up the sync shots, and try not to alert anyone. And sometimes, nah, we're just going in, all guns blazing, and it absolutely works. That's the thing, guys. This game doesn't constantly force me into one specific way of playing. I get to decide how I want to approach the situation. And Last Rites still gives me that feeling. So while I'm playing it, I'm thinking, yeah, this is Wildlands. But then I started to realize something else. The DLC basically has you clearing a couple of areas, finding intel, and eventually getting to the target. And I'm having fun, honestly. I'm enjoying being back in Bolivia, right? I am enjoying the gameplay, but I'm also thinking, surely there is way more to this DLC, right? And then I captured the target, and I was like, oh, is this it? Surely this can't be it. But it actually is. And that's where I was a little bit disappointed, because I wanted more. Not necessarily some massive 20-hour expansion, it's a DLC. I absolutely get it. But give me another hour or two, give me a couple more missions, maybe let me take down some lieutenants or sidekicks before I get to the main target. Give me some extra assets to destroy, more intel to gather, more of the story behind the villain of the DLC. Build up to that final target a little bit more, because right now it almost feels a little rushed. And that's honestly what I think is the biggest missed opportunity here. And let me get one thing straight, guys. It's not bad. It's just that I wanted more from this DLC. And it's really just a weird feeling because I am happy. I'm genuinely happy that Ubisoft gave us something new for Wildlands after all these years. But at the same time, I am sitting there thinking, come on Ubisoft, you could have done a little bit more with this. Because the moment I finished it, I didn't feel like, wow, what an amazing DLC. I felt more like, wait, that's actually it? And honestly, that was probably my biggest disappointment. Because the Wildlands formula still works, the atmosphere still works, the world still looks great, the gameplay still works. I just wanted more of it so many years later, guys. But then something else happened. Just when I thought the DLC was finished, Ubisoft came out of nowhere with some crazy news. And suddenly, I wasn't really disappointed anymore. I was hyped again. A brand new Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon experience is on the way. And my first reaction was basically, yo, what the fuck? They're making a new Ghost Recon game? And yes, I immediately signed up because, oh shit, a new Ghost Recon game? Sign me the F up, really. Now obviously, we don't know much about this Ghost Recon experience yet, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know exactly what Ubisoft is making, but just know that another Ghost Recon is coming, and I am super excited for it. Especially after going back to Wildlands, because if Ubisoft can take what made Wildlands so good, the open world, the freedom, the tactical gameplay, the squad, the ability to approach missions however you want, and build something new around that, guys, I will absolutely freaking buy this game when it gets released. I am absolutely sold. And honestly, maybe that's what makes this whole thing so interesting. Because Last Rites is a very small DLC, right? It's short. It's over before you know it. But maybe it wasn't supposed to be this huge return for Wildlands. Maybe it was just a little reminder. A little, hey, remember Ghost Recon? Because then Ubisoft turns around and says, yeah, there's a new one coming. And that's where I went from, damn, this DLC was short, to, oh shit, a new Ghost Recon. So, was Last Rites too short? Absolutely. Do I regret playing it at all? Hell no. Just going back to Wildlands again made it all right. And it was really good to be back in Bolivia for a bit, right? Good to have my squad with me. Good to have that freedom again. And even though I would have loved more missions in the DLC, more action and more story, right? I am still happy Ubisoft gave us something new after all these years. And now we have something even bigger to look forward to. Maybe Last Rites isn't the huge Wildlands comeback some people were hoping for, me included, but maybe it's the beginning of something much bigger for Ghost Recon. If you have played Wildlands before and you still love the game, go back to Bolivia. And if you have never played Wildlands before, honestly, play the original game first, because Last Rites is fun, but it doesn't give you the full Wildlands experience in my humble opinion. But for everyone who has been waiting years for it to return, it's good to have Wildlands back. And now, let's see what Ubisoft does next. If you like this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.